Apparently, the specialists treating Jamie Foxx are running incorrectly tests, or presumably not running any tests whatsoever, in light of the fact that the entertainer's condition isn't getting any better after some puzzling well-being alarm landed him on the clinic bed, and keeping in mind that many individuals in the business are sure that James is being rebuffed by his purported companion Diddy for practically uncovering his sexual inclinations. It seems like Jamie will remain under clinical perception way longer than anticipated, just until the second the last hint of sickness poison is taken out from a framework. Greetings, everybody, and welcome back to Celeb Live channel. I keep my eyes on the most examined occasions in Broadway and continuously present to you the most sizzling updates. It seems like the clinical visualization for entertainer Jamie Foxx, who stays in the emergency clinic for over about 14 days, currently won't be good, as the specialists haven't yet recognized the idea of his well-being alarm. And since certain individuals in the stage alongside the multitude of Jamie's fans consider that the entertainer has become a seriously risky figure who conveys an excess of revolting insider facts. His hospitalization is coordinated by Puff Daddy, who will kill everybody to safeguard his dim past. You must allow me to film this, the entire thing. We want to record this, Playboy. He was like Jamie and Diddy, has been longtime companions. And as the entertainer admitted, he went to pretty much every gathering that the music magnate was tossing, and surprisingly, welcomed Diddy to his own social events on the grounds that around then, Jamie was anxious to begin his vocation in music. In his genuine talk with Colbert in 2018, Jamie said, "I was attempting to get in music around then, so I would toss parties for an explanation. And in light of the fact that Diddy was so popular in music, I had a studio in my home. Obviously, for the entertainer, it was just sharing the experience he had with his renowned companion." Yet it appears as though Diddy was concerned that sooner or later Jamie could let the cat out of the bag on the thing was occurring during these social occasions. As the entertainer went on in his discourse, "I would hang out and watch him set up parties. He set up a party and said, 'Yo, Playboy, this party costs $1.5 million. I'm like, you are utterly crazy.'" Well, Jamie certainly had extraordinary time with Diddy previously, and the music versatile might really lament allowing the entertainer to find out such a great amount about his doings, and in any event, allowing him to keep the recording of the gatherings. Jamie's new days preceding his hospitalization were distressing and undivided purpose, and many individuals caused the rapper the reason for Jamie's inconveniences on set and his own clinical issues. It recently felt that as of late everything was off base in Jamie's life, and could such countless miserable occasions be a straightforward happenstance? The most recent few months was very distressing for the entertainer, and each and every individual who worked with him on set noticed that he turned out to be increasingly more terrible to manage, in keeping in mind that the specialists continue to run tests. And notice the entertainer's condition. The media loaded up with charges that he encountered stroke-like side effects. It's hazy how much harm was finished, or essentially what could have led to the stroke, in light of the fact that Jane looks fit and very sound, and he is generally youthful for a stroke. Something simply doesn't add here. And evidently assuming that we ask Puff Daddy, he knows precisely exact thing caused Jamie's condition, in light of the fact that as many individuals say the rapper was a piece of this occurrence, and surprisingly, paid off certain individuals on set to assist him with covering reality alongside the entertainer. It appears as though James' family is genuinely terrified for his well-being, and they don't permit anybody close to the entertainer. Even his dear companions share not many data about what's happening behind the clinic walls anyway. One thing's without a doubt, it was something very significant, and surprisingly, hazardous if Jamie's relatives, and welcomed them to desperately come to the clinic. While the family requested security, I surmise they would rather not have a clue about the supposed antagonist behind the story. Achy Puff Daddy realized the advancement in Jamie's therapy As definitely we should confront it, Diddy is no more interesting to have individuals around him passing on strange passings or winding up in clinic. And obviously the ruthless techniques for employing a posse to shoot somebody are a distant memory. Now I suppose there are a large number of alternate ways of disposing of undesirable individual fans are still in shock when they review that story with unbelievable Rataby vocalist and maker Al B. Shore, who is additionally a natural father of Quincy. And as you might realize, the kid was taken on by Diddy in December 2022. Albee fell while dealing with new music and was raced to the medical clinic. He would stay in a state of unconsciousness for a very long time, and the specialists even considered placing him in hospice. Seems like one more brush with death of a guiltless individual who might know something about Diddy. And folks, let me let you know, not a happenstance, I'll be certain, was working dealing with composing his tell-all journal just before the occurrence. Well, with such countless incidents, fans immediately hit on an obvious conclusion. And it seems like they understand what specialists ought to be searching for when they run tests on Jamie Foxx. Did he unquestionably a ton of impact in the big time? And keeping in mind that he doesn't utilize primitive strategies any longer, it makes various individuals wonder when precisely James started showing side effects that connect with his disorder. He turned out to be sufficiently sick to enter the emergency clinic on April 11. Yet his girl noticed that he started recuperating the next day as a piece of the assertion from the family. Jamie's little girl Corinne dubiously composed on her Instagram, fortunately because of fast activity and care he is as of now en route to recuperation. This data adds to hypotheses about the idea of Jamie's condition, and keeping in mind that family likes to maintain everything in mystery, presumably not having any desire to surrender Diddy any tops of what's happening. Fans are getting increasingly more sure about their hypothesis that Jamie was named as an awful companion, and surprisingly, selling out in his proclamations about Diddy's gatherings and intercourse with men, which some way or another surfaced on the web not some time before the hospitalization, is the justification for why the entertainer is fundamentally battling for his life. Right now, as one fan composed, has even tried for toxic substance. The specialist ought to have run poisonousness screens days prior on the off chance that they can't find some other responses. Poison is typically the last offender looked for. I think this present time is a decent opportunity to search for itself. And someone else added he presumably paid individuals to harm him. They have food on those sets. Trust nobody. If you were to ask me, their hypotheses are getting more stunning yet. Without any reports on James' condition, it gets an ever-increasing number of clear that the specialists are positively searching in some unacceptable spot. And assuming that the hypothesis with harming Damien that is valid, it's very awful in light of the fact that individual can be harmed and not show side effects for hours, days, or months. Instances of harming with a drawn-out beginning of side effects are especially perilous in light of the fact that there might be a perilous defer in getting clinical consideration. It appears as though Diddy is giving his very best for safeguard his mysteries and not let a solitary world about his wild celebrating with men to go out, and albeit the gossipy tidbits about the music Big Shot being into young men have been flowing for a really long time. He, at the end of the day, never affirmed or denied any charges. Diddy is very wary with regards to protecting the mystery anyway. Many individuals who worked with him in